Hi, Vineetha here. So, in our last session, we talked about how a person's personality develops. And I promised to you that we will talk about transactional analysis today. Transactional analysis, as a branch of psychology, was developed by a person called Dr. Eric Berne, a Canadian psychologist. He actually derived the theory from Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytical theory. But it was considerably different from that because to understand a person's personality, Berne was looking into the person's social interactions or the transactions. As you know, transactions are giving and taking. So whenever we are interacting with another person, we are actually giving something, that person is taking that and they're giving us something back. So these transactions, when you analyze these transactions, then Berne deduces that you can understand a lot about the person's personality. So maybe we can just define personality as a consistent pattern of thoughts, feelings, and behavior in a situation. So there may be slight differences, but there will be a consistency for a person, how the person behaves in situations, how the person has their feelings and thoughts going on. So that is what Berne focused on. Now, let me tell you about my day yesterday. My yesterday was not very good because I was getting ready to the office. And as I was rushing to go out, my son, who was having breakfast, he spilled milk on the table. I felt very, very bad. Actually, I shouted at him and I had to mop up the entire place, clean it up, and then only I could go out. And as I was driving through the morning rush, the morning traffic, there was this driver who wanted to overtake me and was trying to go through the wrong side. Again, I felt much bad, very, very bad. And when I reached my office, I was already in a foul mood and my boss called me and asked me about a particular file. He asked me to give him the day before. I had already sent that to him. I was very sure it was on his table. But the boss was very adamant that he hadn't received it, and I had to run around in his office to find it out for him. And that took around 2 hours of my time. So if you had asked me yesterday evening, Vineetha, how was your day? I would have told you the day really sucked, man. I felt very bad. Morning when I was rushing, my son made me very angry. Then that other person who was breaking the traffic rules and was trying to overtake me, he made me even angrier. And my boss, who was behaving in that way, trying to make me guilty, made my mood very, very bad. So altogether, the day really sucked. Now wait, can we just look at it in a different angle? What if I had not shouted at my son? What if I calmly dealt with the situation and cleaned up the place and went to my office? It would have taken the same time, right? But my mood would have been much better. What if when that other driver was trying to overtake me and I thought, okay, that man was in a much more, like a bigger hurry than me. So I could have just gone calmly forward. The situation in the office also, I could have dealt with that calmly rather than feeling bad about my abilities. So, when I take responsibility for my actions, I can see that I could have changed the situations and have made the day better. So the key philosophy or one of the key philosophies of transactional analysis, the first one is take responsibility for your actions. Whatever be the situation, take responsibility for your actions. Now, when you're taking responsibility, don't you think you can change your behavior? Instead of just jumping into something, feeling very bad or angry or sad, can't you just change the situation, change your behavior and change the situation? So that's the second key philosophy of transactional analysis. People can change their behavior. And only I can change my behavior. I can read all the books of motivation and all these things make me feel do good, change my personality. I can read all those books. But if I have to change my behavior, I have to think about that. I have to decide, okay, I'm going to change. And for that, first of all, I have to take responsibility for my behavior. So I have the capacity to change my behavior. That's the second key principle of transactional analysis. And the third one is people can think. Maybe brain damaged people cannot think. People who have some problem with their brain cannot think, but everyone else has the capacity to think. And if you have the capacity to think, you can manage your situations. You need not have to say, that person made me feel bad. No. If you're feeling bad, it is your responsibility. So you can manage your situations. Again, it stems from take responsibility. You are a thinking person, you can take responsibility, so you can manage your behavior, you can manage your situations. Now, let me tell you a story. This is the story of a mother who was pregnant and her daughter. The daughter was around 8 years old. So, as usual, pregnant mothers, she also just asked her daughter, okay, what baby you want? Do you want a baby sister or a baby brother? The daughter said, I want a baby brother. I want to play with a baby brother. So the mother, who used to raise up the daughter with all sorts of religious stories and all these things, she used to recite Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these things to the daughter. So she asked, would you like to have a brother like Sri Rama? Wouldn't you? Then the daughter said, no, I want a brother like Ravana. The mother was taken aback. Ravana? How can you say that Ravana is the biggest villain? He's a very bad person. How can you say? Why can't you think of a brother like Rama? Then the daughter said, Rama had his brother Lakshmana with him for 14 years in the forest. And Lakshmana did not eat during those 14 years. He did not sleep during those 14 years. He was just serving his brother. And Rama never thought about all these things. He left his wife there and went with his brother. Now just look at Ravana. His sister Surpanaga was hurt. Immediately Ravana knew that if I go for war with this person, Rama, I may be killed. My kingdom is in danger. But he left all those thoughts and he went in rescue of his sister, or to take revenge of his sister, for his sister. So who is a better brother? Is it Rama or Ravana? So see, you can see things differently. You can see good in people, even in those people whom we usually consider evil or bad. So, the basic assumption here, or our fourth one, is people are okay or people are good. There are values and dignity for a person, and interact with that. People are okay, people are good. So when you are interacting with your goodness to the other person's goodness, you can be okay with yourself also. So that is our fourth key principle. And I can manage my destiny, or I decide my destiny. It's not some fate which has written something on my head. No. It is not someone who is sitting somewhere and trying to pull the strings and change my destiny. Because I am a thinking being, because I am a person who can take responsibility, I can decide my destiny. So that is the fifth one the fifth key philosophy of transactional analysis. So the 5 key philosophies of transactional analysis are: I take responsibility for my behavior, I can change my behavior, I can manage situations or I can manage conflicts. Whatever be the situation, I can manage that. I take again responsibility for my behavior. That's why I can manage that. And there is good in people, or people are okay, and I decide my destiny. So with that, we are winding up today's session. And one more thing I want to tell you is, I'm not asking you to like or subscribe to my channel. That is up to you. I'm not insisting on that. But I want you to comment about the video, give me suggestions for improvement, which would help me to improve myself a lot. Thank you.